Hey guys, welcome to Mrs. Leggett's basement. Ooh. Okay, today we are going to be talking about multiplication of bigger numbers. So I want to start off by saying you guys can totally do this. This is why we are going to keep working on making sure we have our times tables memorized, because if you have those memorized, the rest of fifth grade math, guess what? It'll be way easier because we do a lot of multiplication and division in fifth grade math. So if you have your facts down pat, if you have those memorized, you will be good to go, I promise. So we'll work on those in class, but if you can work on them at home, that could also be helpful, right? And I can put up a multiplication chart in class to help you. But still work on memorizing them, because again, if you don't memorize them solidly, you'll forget, and then it makes all of this much harder. Okay, so lecture over. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to multiply. Now, in fourth grade, you probably learned the box method. The box method is okay. We're going to go over it again here. I will tell you now, in fifth grade math, we don't use it very much. Why? Because the box method works much better for smaller numbers, but not so much for bigger numbers. And actually, the way that mom or dad or aunt or uncle were taught in school, the normal way that they know how to do it is actually the quicker way to do it. So go give them a high five for knowing how to do it. Okay. So I'll remind you of the box method first. Now, on any test or anything, you do not have to do the box method or the other way. Essentially, the point of Common Core math is that you get to choose which way works best for you. I'm just telling you now that a heads up is that the box method is not as fast. So never will I dock points from you or make you miss something if you did a different way to multiply. Okay, so let's start. Sorry, I have to kind of put this so that you can see the little whiteboard. Okay, now let's start with the box method. So let's say you have 14 times 12. Okay, now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make your boxes. So because I've got a tens number and a ones number and a tens number and a ones number, that means I'm going to make a box for all four numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to make a box for all four numbers. Now I'm going to split both numbers into tens and ones. So in the number 14, you have 1 10 and 4 ones, right? So for the number 12, that means you have also 1 10 and 2 ones. Okay, now that you have this, you're going to multiply everything in the boxes. So 10 times 10, well, that's 100. 10 times 2 is 20. 4 times 10 is 40. And 4 times 2 is 8, right? So now you can add these up. So 120, and this is 48. 8, 4, 5, 6, and 1. See how that took a little bit of time? Now that's because we had 4 boxes. So the box method works better if you have a number like, let me show you. Let's say you only have 6 times 24. If you've got a number that's only in the ones place, then the box method might actually be fast. So you this time only have to do a 6 here on this side. And then you're splitting the 24 into tens and ones. So there's 2 tens and there's 4 ones. So 6 times 20, well, 6 times 2 is 12. And then put the 0 on. 6 times 4 is 24. Now you can add 120 plus 24. It's pretty easy to, some of you can do it in your head. That's 144. Okay, so that's not bad. If you like this way, you can certainly do it. But I'm going to show you the quicker way for fifth grade math purposes, okay? So we're combining 2 lessons into one because there's no sense in doing 2 lessons. So one lesson shows you, okay, we just did what, 24 times 6, how to multiply if you have one number in the ones place. And the next lesson is how to multiply numbers if you've got more than, if you have a number that's, all of your numbers, sorry, are not in the ones place and they're bigger numbers. So I'm going to show you both ways that it's the same way, completely the same way. But the first trick is you always need to stack the bigger number on top, okay? Start with that first. Also line them up as best you can. This is kind of lined up, but I'm going to make sure that my numbers are lined up really good. And if that helps you to draw lines, do it. I know little kids do it, but here I can tell you, having taught 5th grade math, people sometimes get the answers wrong because they've shifted the numbers, okay? So let's start. Now I like to do this fun little trick, but you don't have to do it. Let's say Mr. 6 is going to a party. So Mr. 6 at the party, he has to visit both Miss 4 and Mrs. 2. Okay, so first of all, Mr. 6 is going to visit Miss 4. So 6 times 4 is, here's where you need to know your math facts, 24. Put the 4 down here, stack it nicely, carry the 2. Now Mr. 6 has to visit Mrs. 2 and go say hi to her as well. So 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14. We added 2 onto it, 144. Now this is pretty easy when you only have one number here because you're not going to have additional lines down here to add up. That's just your answer there. It gets a little bit more complicated when you have a tens or a hundreds number. Then there's a little bit more work involved, but it just takes more time. It's not harder, just takes more time. So let's start again. This time we have 2 people at the party that need to go see Miss 4 and Mrs. 2. So we've got Mr. 6 and Mrs. 2. And they need to say hi. Both of them need to say hi to the guys on top. So Mr. 6 visits Miss 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Add 2 to that. That's 14. Now, because there aren't any other numbers, you basically just put 14 there, right? If there were other numbers up here, you carry the 1 and keep going. Now, here's the tricky part you always must remember, or you will get the answer wrong, okay? So we're going to do, and I know I can't hear you guys, écoutez et répétez. When you have another number on the bottom, you must put a place value 0, okay? Always put a place value 0 there, okay? Like I said, you will get the number, you'll get it wrong if you just start 2 times 4 and put the 8 there, okay? So the second line, you should have a 0 in the first spot there. Now we've got Mrs. 2. She's going to go say hi to Miss 4. 2 times 4 is 8. We don't have to carry anything over. Now she's going to go say hi to Mrs. 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Don't get confused if you still have numbers here from multiplying different numbers. Now we can add. Okay, start over on the right. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 4, 5, 6. Okay, do you see how if I hadn't stacked my numbers very well, how I could have gotten this wrong? If I had added these 4s together, or the 8 and the 4 because I didn't stack properly, then yeah, I would totally have gotten the wrong number. Now, I'm going to talk about one more thing, even though we don't do a lot of it yet in 5th grade. If you have an even bigger number, so let's say you have 124 times 126. We'll make our lines like this. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this because remember how we had the 0 placeholder on that second line? When you get to the third line, because you've got to times a third number, you have to add another 0. So let me show you how that will work. So 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, 14. Stacking my numbers nicely. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, I have no more numbers. So now I'm going to the second number down here. Now I've got Mrs. 2 again. Mrs. 2's got to visit all of these people. So remember, 0 place value for the second line. Okay, now she's going to visit Miss 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Now she's going to visit Mrs. 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Don't get confused with these leftover numbers. And we've got another number. 2 times 1 is 2. If you need to add another stacking line down here, do it if it doesn't confuse you. Okay, we've got one more number on the bottom that hasn't done their visits. So little kid 1's going to go visit Mrs. 4. So should I just put it there? No, that's not. So think about what I said for a second. Okay, think about what I said. Now that you have a third line, you don't need just one place value. You're going to put another place value in that second row, in the second column too. That makes sense? And if you were to keep going on, you'd keep adding zeros every single time. So now let's do it. So little kid 1's going to visit Mrs. 4. Miss 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. And we've got one more number left. 1 times 1 is 1. See how many columns I have? It looks hard, but if you can keep them stacked very neatly, you will not get it wrong. This is how mom and dad know how to do it. That's how they were taught. Okay, 4 plus 0 is 4. Hopefully you can see all that. 8 plus 4 is 12. But I need to carry the 1 up here. Put them up there. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. And now on the very last row, you just have a 1. So let's look at this number that we have left. That's our answer. So if you don't know where to put the comma, start from the very right and count over 3. 1, 2, 3. So 15,224 is our final number. We will go over these again in class so you understand them and you understand how many 0 place values to put. And I think you guys will get it, so no worries. I will see you this week and hopefully you had a good weekend. Bye.